Hello guys, welcome to a new video on Tower of God New World. And in this video, I just wanted to talk with you guys about the video and kit we have for YIHWA, the SSR Plus 4th anniversary, and Endorsi, the new version or future version. I've waited quite a bit to do this video, not on purpose. It's just that I came back home recently, so I didn't have time earlier today. So I will make the video now. It will probably like be close to anniversary already, but I think it's fine because for the whole day, you will have to wait a bit for my live stream. I will go live at 6:30 p.m. Central European Summer Time, so be sure to tune for that. I think the live will last a very long time. Like I'm planning around 4 hours or so, I think, because first we're going to read all the SSR ability upgrades. We'll see how much time that will take. Then I will use the free copy we have for YIHWA. I will upgrade her with like the exclusive equipment and what else? I don't think I can really upgrade much else other than that. Obviously, report. But yeah, I will take her exclusive equipment to plus 30, and I will start testing her with my current adventure floor. I won't use too much time. It's just to see how impactful she is at 0 dupes, just to have a first idea of that unit. Then we'll see exactly how that whole thing will play out. And then I will see which events we have, if we want to pull for Endorsi, if we want to pull for Hewa during the live stream. We'll see, I would say during that live, but I'm pretty sure 4 hours it's a reasonable time. I bet even update the spreadsheet while we are doing some play testing. We'll see. We'll see tomorrow, but I'm expecting a lot of stuff, and this update can actually be really good, guys. Let's hope they don't add something to mess it up, but I'm quite hopeful. I think, at least from what we see in the kits that we're going to read right now, these units are great. What we saw also yesterday in the update notice, I think it's quite okay. There should be a lot of stuff. Still not clear about the festival thing, the Spendium Festival, whatever. So we will have to look more in detail on that. We will have to see how many Revolution mats they're going to give us with the check-in and all those things. But we're going to see that tomorrow, guys. The anniversary is really, really uh, already here, basically. So that's great. So we have Hewa. Again, we already know green SSR plus. She's a wave controller. I mean, they usually tend to keep the same role of the unit because the role doesn't actually change. So Hewa is a wave controller. She's going to stay that no matter the role, no matter the kit. So yeah, it's a good one because it's one of the first ones you normally upgrade, I would say. So yeah, good for sure. She's going to take quite a bit of stats from that. And we can have a look at the video. I think I do not have audio. Let me check. Or maybe I do. I do. Okay. We can just have a look at it. I'm not going to open it up too much, but let's see. Okay, that's good. The special move is insane. The special move. We're going to read now the effect. Okay, I don't care about the animation, guys. I don't know you. I mean, it's cool for sure, but let's just keep going. I don't want to drag this video too much. So regarding the skills, we will start. I don't really like to start with special move. Let's start with the passive. She's going to gain a certain number of life flame at the start of the battle, and she gains another one every amount of seconds. And she can stack them up to a certain number we don't know. When an ally, excluding the caster and summon beast, so it doesn't work on like the bull or the bots or whatever, receives damage that would decrease their HP below a certain threshold. We also need to see if these values scale with dupes, because that will have a huge impact on whether she needs a 3 red or she's totally fine at 0 dupes. They also mentioned like her dealing some damage, and we will see that she has some kind of in some skills. We don't know the percentages again for that. She might be a sort of Gustan that at 3 red works fine as sub DPS or just provides that little boost in damage that could help at times. but we'll see that. I would say as soon as we have the actual values here. So this is good. This is just basically a bergamot for all your teammates. And it's good that it doesn't seem to have a cooldown. So as long as you have stacks and one of your allies goes below that threshold, they're going to be healed, which is pretty cool. I would say will work really, really well with Yuri for sure. And whenever she takes fatal damage the first time, she is invincible for a certain number of seconds. We don't know how long, and she's recovering allies for all, like HP for all allies by a certain percentage every second for the duration of the invincibility. We'll see if this scales. I don't think it does, but we'll see. So this is the passive, pretty stacked, pretty cool. I mean, it's not really there are many things, just this mechanic that allows you to heal allies when they go below certain thresholds, which is really helpful. It's like having the like also blank as a skill like that applies a sort of buff to everyone, and when they go below a certain threshold, they use that to uh, heal back up. She will have it as a passive, which is kind of nuts, I would say. Then this protection flame is going to create protection flames for all allies, recovering HP based on the caster max HP. So not bad. It's kind of written weirdly, in my opinion, but seems good. It's just an AoE heal that scales off of your HP, it seems, not your attack. But it's interesting. And it's also going to deal, because it's the AoE we also saw in the video, that green circle kind of thing. Let me see where it was. This one. Exactly. So this is going to deal damage to enemies that are inside it. The AoE is not bad, especially when you are in a 5v5. You will have quite a portion of the map covered in green, which is pretty good. And is going to deal damage every second. It could overlap because it says to enemies near. Maybe if two of your units are close range, they're fighting against other two, might overlap and might take double damage. We don't know. We'll see. But it's promising, I would say. Then we have another active skill. This one is single target. Is going to recover HP of the ally with the lowest HP percentage. So the one with the lowest HP at the moment by a certain amount of the caster's max HP, and increase defense by a certain amount. We don't know how much. This is okay. I like the fact that obviously it targets the lowest HP unit. Makes sense. And I think also Lozelle has the same kind of mechanic. Also the defense increase. So it's kind of similar to Lozelle's, I would say. But this is really good. It's going to grant status effect immunity to the ally, which is pretty nuts if you think uh, not necessarily a Yuri again, but like Yuri before she casts the special move, she's kind of vulnerable. If she is immune to status effects, that would help a little bit. Not much. I'm not expecting much from this. A lot of units have status effect immunities in certain scenarios, but it's definitely a good addition. What's also good is the increase in attack for a certain amount of time. This attack could most likely be the usual 80% that we see in Blank, BAM, and other units. Could be a 40%, kind of weak for a single target, so I'm leaning more towards the 60 to 80% range, I would say. But we'll see. Pretty good. It seems pretty solid. Now we have the special move, which is probably the like biggest thing that she has in the kit, at least in my opinion, is really, really nuts. She's going to teleport to the rear of an ally. It doesn't specify which one. We don't know if the furthest away, if the one with the lowest HP, if it's a random one. We have no idea. But it's going to teleport to the ally. And while she's doing that, she's going to have status effect immunity so that they cannot interrupt the skill. And it's going to generate a massive wave of fire to remove all enemies' debuffs and knock in the back for a number of seconds. So we get the second unit with a buff removal. The first one being Urek with the exclusive equipment. Now she has one in the base kit, which is pretty nuts. Then we get a decrease of energy for enemies hit by the wave of fire by a certain amount, an additional decreased energy by another amount for each buff removed. So you're going to remove their buffs and they're also going to lose energy for it. This is really, really good. She's also going to recover HP for allies and generate the protection from this active skill again. She's also going to gain a certain amount of life flame upon using the special move. Probably not reaching the cap, but definitely a nice refill, especially because if you have to rely on this, which is maybe going to be like 10, 5 seconds. And when I see this, I think of like units like Escanor, that he has like the noon mechanic that procs after a certain amount of time. I fear like they might make her exclusive equipment work around this. So like reduce the amount of time it takes to regenerate the stack of this passive. I wouldn't really like a kind of exclusive equipment like that. If it's only one line, perfectly fine. If it's more than one, I wouldn't really like it. Like Escanor has three of those. That's too much. Like you want to put one to say instead of every 10 seconds, it's every five, fine. Don't do like 10, 8, 6, 4, whatever. No, just do one decrease and that's it. But we'll see. We don't know the details for the exclusive equipment. We don't know the ability upgrades from the Revolution. But from the kit alone, she's already a really great unit. We don't know the like amount of the buff and whatever, but with just buff removal, energy decrease, and some good eels that come like at very specific times that are not bad, I think at no dupes she should be fine. But we'll test it out tomorrow, guys. So that's the first unit. It's already pretty good. I think we could have started from the SSR, to be honest. My ordering is just weird, but it's fine. It's fine. Let's go over Endorsi. I don't know how I will call her. Like Shinsu of the Heart is really, really. I probably will just call her Heart Endorsi or something, or for shorts like H Endorsi. Or if you are in my on my Discord, you know how some people recommended to uh, rename this unit. As we all know, I'm not gonna say it necessarily, but we all know how we could call her. But okay, it's fine. She's going to be a fisherman, which is strange, maybe for an Endorsi adult with that, well, but it's fine. I don't particularly care. I don't even know the other than the one that's the anima, I think, the child Endorsi. The other one, I actually don't remember which role they assigned to her, but it's fine. It's fine. I don't care. That is not really a matter of that. Let's have a look at the video and then we can have a look at the kit too. I can lower down the volume a little bit. Okay, this one is an AoE attack, pretty cool. The special move, really awesome. We already saw it also during the live stream that they did. Really, really awesome. So again, let's start with the passive. As we can see here, the descriptions are a bit longer than the previous one, and it's really stacked. She has the same passive as Varagarb and Vespa, so she's going to get 90% defense for each green element ally. This does not have a huge impact in my view. I don't think you will be forced to play her in green teams, though she has some synergy with some of the units we have there, but you're not forced to play her there. Make sure, like, be sure of that, because if you play tanks with resistances, it's true that now we take 1% damage bare minimum, and defense can play out in reducing that 1% even further, but it's not that big of a deal at the end of the day. She has way too many things going on that will help her a ton. So to me, you can play her in whatever team you want if there is a better composition or a better synergy. So keep that in mind. She grants Jewel Heart to the caster herself, which is consumed whenever HP reaches certain thresholds. So whenever removed, they're going to regenerate HP and remove all debuffs. This is just what Hewa does, but she also has it on herself, which is pretty interesting. Like both of them in the same team, she is basically going to be constantly healed whenever she goes below that threshold, which might not be that simple with a resistance build, but we'll see. Then she's going to gain a certain number of these stacks for every enemy inflicted with fascination by the caster skill. Perfectly good. But the thing is, if the enemy one-shots you, you're not going to recover HP. So it's not like Vespa that has invincibility frames when it goes below the threshold. it cannot lose other HP, and it will just recover the one for the effect. This is no such thing. If she gets the one shot, like if the enemy you are 60%, the skill would proc at 50, but they take you from 60 to 0 in one hit, you're dead. Which is fair and shouldn't happen that often unless you're running resistances but you're faced with Pierce units or like units with really crazy magic resistance shred like a ghost or whatever. That could happen, but she also has increases in resistances that we're going to see in a second. So overall, the passive is pretty good. And let's see here what she has also in the other skills. So she has one skills called Hurt Dart. She's going to fire heart darts. Yeah, well, I mean, I really suck at pronunciation for certain words. It's not really that simple, being a non-native speaker, but okay. Dealing certain percentage of her attack as damage a certain number of times. So it's a multi-hit skill. The last attack deals a certain percentage of max HP as additional damage and inflicts fascination. Now, this max HP doesn't say if it's the caster or the target. I'm guessing the caster, but if it's the target, that's pretty good. We'll see. And yeah, again, we're going to get this charm-like effect, pretty good. And she's going to decrease magic resistance by a certain percentage for a certain amount of time. So this is really good. The thing is, we already have another unit that provides some buffs to magic damage dealing units, which is Leroro. The thing that I said for Leroro is that other than Ren, there is no magic damage dealer in the green element. So that's tricky, but Ren is such a beast of a unit. You can work with him just fine, but you can definitely play her in different teams at this point. That's why I also mentioned the increase in defense here from the passive. Should not force you to play her in green because green only has one magic damage dealer. I guess two. I mean, we have Hewa that deals magic damage, but she's a support. She's not a DPS unit. We'll see if her DPS is valid. Might be a good support slash sub DPS option, but I doubt it. We'll see. Then she has the skill that we saw before with the hearts rotating around her. She's going to deploy an heart zone near the caster for a certain amount of time, dealing a certain percentage of her attack as damage per second to enemies within the zone. She's going to deal a certain percentage of max HP. Again, we don't know caster or target. I'm guessing the caster as additional damage to enemies hit. Decreases magic resistance of enemies within the zone. It doesn't say you need to hit the enemies, which is good. You don't need accuracy on her. It doesn't say even like affect it and stuff. I don't think you can necessarily dodge this with affect it, which could be a problem when we face her in adventure and in the opposing team. But it seems nice. We have to see again how this is applied, if it's just the debuff you get by default just by being in the zone, or we don't know. Pretty interesting though, pretty interesting. And she's also getting physical and magic resistance increase per enemy inside the zone. We don't know, again, the numbers, but all of this is definitely nice because you will still want to start with 100% resistances, but the more you get, the better it is to survive pierce, reductions, etc., etc., etc. Pretty nuts. Then the special move, really great skill as well. She's going to awaken her Shinsu for a certain amount of seconds, increasing her max HP by a certain amount. Then she rides the heart and charges at the enemy with the highest attack. So it's not the farthest away, like the skill, is the one with the highest attack, which kind of makes sense. You want to target that unit anyway. Every unit that's along the way is going to take damage and additional max HP damage again. Not sure whether caster or target, blah blah blah, same thing. And is going to inflict on them fascination for a certain amount of seconds. She is immune to status effects while using the skill. Pretty good, guys. She has good mobility. She targets the right units. She can decrease resistances. She can buff her own survivability by protecting against pierce and decreases. Pretty good. Good CCs because she's going to move to the enemies, then charm the enemies that might be attacking your backline, likely. So all in all, good at repositioning the enemy team, also grouping them up. I see a ton of value in this unit, so it's really, really good. Amount of dupes is a question mark. I'll say 3 purple is already fine, but it will depend on how quickly you need the special move and also what they add in the revolution. That's a given, but I feel like 3 purple should be totally fine. She will survive. Again, most of the things are relying on resistances in ignition weapons. So keep that in mind, okay? Sela will work perfectly fine. She doesn't have a taunt. So I'm expecting Sela to be the best set. If the duration of the fascination or charm is not long enough, maybe idea could be good. Since you get additional resistances, you don't necessarily need to get the additional 30%. It might be better to get the 65 effect resistance and reach 145 when you will also get the 80 from the origin orb. So yeah, these are considerations we have to make when we will try it out. Hopefully, I don't know how many copies I can pull because I'm sure I can max SSR plus units. I'm not so sure about SSR units. They're quite difficult to max, so we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, overall, these 2 units look super cool, look super good. And I'm really hopeful for Iran that they're going to make her a DPS kit with this amount of interesting features and mechanics. I'm always hoping. I also pinned a comment I wrote in my Discord server. I wrote Iran, yellow, or purple mage. Still not sure about the 2 colors. I'd lean more towards purple, but if we get white next month, she probably end up yellow. We'll see. So I said yellow or purple mage, and then I said AoE skill on the special move. That's pretty much a given, I would say, and damage that ignores invincibility. Now, not sure whether it is invincibility like the current state or whether it is the invincibility of not be able to go below a certain amount. So it could be invincibility like Viol that's being ignored by Irang, or invincibility like Evan. So you cannot go below a certain threshold. No, you can, you will die. And I would really hope for a kit like that. I hope that's the case. We'll see, guys. I'm really hopeful for Irang, especially. But so far, the first 2 units already look quite good. So I'm already happy with it. And that's enough, guys. I already talked way too much on these 2 units. So I will be seeing you guys tomorrow. Make sure to tune in for the live stream. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them there. Well, not there. Yeah, there. And yeah, as I mentioned, things might change for the SSR Plus priority and the SSR teammate, whatever, but it will take some time for the SSR. I'm sure of it because it's a reward for missions. So it will take maybe a week, could be, before we get the chest for the SSR. So there is time for the non-stop banner. No clue how quickly it's going to start, but I would say if you can, wait for my live stream. Maybe we can talk about that topic as well, who to pick. Again, even though I covered it in a video, but things could change based on what we get released and also your own specific situation. But we'll talk about that tomorrow, guys. Uh, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're also hyped for this anniversary, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.